and welcome to our class with Mrs. Darling. Today, I'm going to teach you how to make a homemade cardboard loom. If you guys know what a loom is, you might have seen this in your classes, in your art classes. They have these nice plastic ones. Here's a wood one that I have at home. These are weavings that my kids are doing. And then a finished weaving can look like something like this, okay? Right, that you can hang. Now this doesn't stay on the board, you take it off eventually, and that will be shown in another video. So today, since we're all stuck at home, and I'm sure everyone is getting packages sent to their house, save some of that cardboard. So today what you're gonna need to make your own homemade loom that you can reuse over and over again is some cardboard. The size really doesn't matter, and this is from some boxes that I had. You're gonna need a ruler, a pencil, some scissors, and yarn or string or ribbon or really anything that you have that you can weave with, okay? So what I'm gonna have, and you know what? Some tape might be useful, but I'm gonna show you that you don't necessarily need that. So I have this piece of cardboard. Again, let's see what size this is. This is about 6 by 7. It can be really any size you want. The bigger it is, the longer the weaving is going to take, and the smaller it is, the quicker your weaving will be. So I'm going to make mine like this, okay? So what I first want to do is I'm going to add, as you can see on a normal loom, your string goes on these hash marks. We have to make those first. So I'm going to take my pencil and my ruler. I'm going to line my ruler up with the edge of my cardboard. And I'm going to do mine every ½ inch. I'm going to make a little hash mark here. There's a ½ inch, an inch. And make sure that your ruler is lined up properly with the edge. Okay? So I'm going to do 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5, 4, 4.5, 5, 5.5. I'm going to do the same thing with the top. Okay. And remember, you guys, if you don't get this or it seems confusing the first time, it's okay to replay these videos over and over again. That's what I do when I'm learning something new. So as you can see, I have these hash marks, and that's where you're going to be cutting with your scissors to make your little kind of your slits for your yarn to go through. I'm going to cut all the way. So I'm going to make like a line so I know where to stop cutting. I'm going to go about a ½ inch down here and here as well. And what that does is, I'll show you why you're doing that. I'm just going to make this line here and this line here. Okay. So you guys see that? Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my scissors. Okay. And I'm going to cut slits all the way until that line. Do you see that what I'm doing here? And if you need help with your parent, that's fine. You see how it's making these slits? Okay. I'm going to keep going. Okay. Now, a little trick with scissors, especially with cardboard, because cardboard can be harder to cut. If you try and do it with the edge, you don't have as much strength. You want to go all the way, open up your scissors all the way. I'm going to do this side too now. It makes it easier to cut. Okay. Almost done. Okay. So, depending on how big your loom is, you're then going to need to add your warp. Now the warp, and I've talked about this in my other weaving projects. Again, I also love weaving because you can do it really anytime. It's kind of relaxing, and you can take a break if you need to. So I'm using cotton string that I have. You can use yarn. I could even use this if I wanted to, but I'm going to use cotton string. I'm going to start the first loop. Now, so it doesn't come out, I'm going to take a piece of tape, okay, and I'm going to tape it on the back. I'm going to tie this later, but for now, so it doesn't come out. So what you're going to do, so now you could either go, so let's see if this one has it. See how this is on the side? Okay. So in order to do that, what you're going to do is instead of going around and around and around, you're not going to do that. So here's my front, here's my back where my tape is. I'm going to go, watch this, here, and then up. I'm going to show you again, right? See how I went around there? And then I'm going to go here. And then I'm going to go around, and then here, and around. And I'm going to keep going. Do you see what it looks like on the back? This is the back. This is the front. This is called the warp, and this is what you weave onto. So see here? Here's the warp, and this is your weft. Okay, so I'm going to keep going here. I'm going to show you again. See what I'm doing here? I'm going around here, 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 and I'm going to keep going. Now, if you wanted to, you could make your slits closer together, but I did this so it's easier to see and it's a little bit easier to weave, okay? So I'm at the end, okay? I'm gonna come around. I'm going to cut it so I have enough room. I'm gonna undo this, okay? And I'm gonna tie it. Now, if you have difficulty tying and there's no one there to help you, you can keep it taped. It's totally fine. Okay, it's all tied there. Okay, now we're ready to weave. All right, so you want to get, the cool thing is you can change color whenever you want, right? So let's say you're like, Mrs. Darling, I only have a piece of string that's like this long. That's it. That's okay. You can weave with it. If you have a piece that's even shorter, you can weave with it. If you only have enough yarn or ribbon or whatever to go all the way across, again, that is totally fine. So we're going to do the simple over, under, over, under. Okay, so if you can start under the first one or you can start over. It's really up to you. I'm going to start under. And before I get going, now as you guys notice, I'm not using a needle. You really don't need it for this. That's why this is such a fun project, is that you don't have to have a needle. Now, if you can't hold this, I can hold it. Oh, you can always get a piece of tape and tape it to hold it there for you, and we'll take care of the ends later, okay? So I'm gonna keep going. So since I went under, I go over and then under, okay? And then over and then under and then over and then under and so on. Now, what happens when I get to the end, I'm going to show you. So I'm going to pull it all the way through. Now, here's a little trick about weaving. You do not want to pull too tight. Do you see this nice arch? Keep it. Okay, you want to keep that nice arch, because even though I think my kids did a lovely job with this, do you see how this is going in? You want to keep it as straight as possible, like this, for instance. You see how this is nice and this is kind of straight? To keep that effect instead of it going too tight, because when it gets really tight, it gets harder to weave. You want to keep this arch. And what happens is then you push it down. It might look a little loose, but it's fine. Now I'm at the end, so let's talk about this. At the end, I went under. So remember what I said, if I went under, I always go over. Or if I went over, you always go under. But since we're at the end, we have to go back that way. So what you're going to do is I'm gonna go under and over on the same string. So watch this. So under, and I'm gonna go over and then under, and then immediately under. And sometimes, you know, it can be helpful if you have a piece of tape and this is fraying, you can either make a knot to keep it from coming apart, or you can take a piece of tape to make kind of like a little bit harder on the end. Okay, over, and then I went under. Now to see if I did it right, watch this. Don't pull too tight. Remember, don't pull too tight. Look at that. I know I did it right because see this string before it? That's over, this one's under. See how that is? Okay, I'm gonna keep going. So I'm gonna go, oh, so I just went under here, so that means I go over here. So, under, over. I'm gonna pull it all the way through. Oops. Okay, I remember what I said about that arch. So you don't pull too tight, watch this. See that nice little arch? Okay, I'm gonna leave it. Oh, now this was different from this side. This side looks like I am going over. And remember what I said, since I go over, I go under on the same string. I'm gonna go back the other way. And I'm gonna do this a little bit quicker, just so you guys can see. Now watch this. Oh, now see, I pulled that a little tight. That's okay. So watch this. I'm going to loosen it. This is here, right? See this? See that arch? Keep that arch. Now, not everyone's going to have this tool I'm about to show you, but if you have a fork can be really useful. Watch this. So this pushes everything down. See that? You can use a fork too, or your fingers. Fingers are the best tools that you have. See that? See how it's coming together? So I'm going to keep going. Right? Over, under, over, under. And you're going to keep weaving. I'm just going to show you, I just want to get rid of this string. Let's say I'm going to get, I think I can get, again, don't pull too tight, leave that arch. I think I can probably get 2 more rows here. So I'm going to try this. Let's see. This over, under. Remember, I'm always going over, under. And you see how this looks like a basket weaving? That's how you know you're doing it right. And if you mess up, it's totally okay. I always check each row and push it down. This is starting to look really cool. I think I can get another row out of this. So I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to show you guys how to change a color. Okay. All right. Ooh. I can get another row. See, there's my arch. I'm going to go back one more time. All right, push it down. Now, I'm going to leave this here. If it gets in your way, you can always tuck it behind here, right? Tuck it. See, I'm tucking it back here. Or take a piece of tape and it will stay out of your way, like so, okay? This is getting a little loose. That's okay, I'm gonna tighten it, there we go. All right, now let's say you're like, I want another really pretty color. I think, oh, I'm gonna use this pink. This is really fun, right? Make it as long as you want or as short as you want, or if you have scraps around the house, it's a really fun way of getting rid of like pieces of string that you can't use really for anything else, ribbon, any of that stuff. It does not have to be yarn. Now, I'm gonna start over here again. All I have to do is look at my pattern, okay? So obviously you see this string, this is, I always look at the one right before where I start. You see how this line, this one right here, that is over. So that means my string has to be under this. So look at this. See that? And that means that this is over. Now before I move on, whoops, before I move on, I'm going to keep this back here. And I'm going to keep going. Okay. Oh, I wanted to show you guys this as well. I have a pencil here. If I wanted to help lift this off, look what I can do with my pencil or a stick or whatever you have. Look at this. If I keep this under here, right, this lifts the warp off of the surface and will make it easier to weave. See how that makes it a little bit easier? And if you guys do have an embroidery needle, or a needle that your yarn can fit through, go ahead and use it. All right, again, I'm gonna keep going. Now, go back, remember? I'm gonna go over and under the same string and then keep going. And as you weave, you can just move your pencil up. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep weaving. I want you to keep weaving. And in another video, I'm gonna show you how you can make different levels like I did in here. See how like there's like chunks, there's sections of color like this? I'm gonna show you in another video on this same one how to do that. And then in another video, I'll show you how to remove this off the loom. For now, keep weaving, have some fun, and keep visiting art class with Mrs. Darling. Bye.